Hello everyone, welcome to the Living Room channel. Today I have a very special guest with me, Cynthia. She is all the way from Canada. Hi Cynthia, how are you?
Hi Siobhan, how are you?
I'm very good. It's good to finally see you face to face over a Zoom meeting after so long.
It is, it is. And I'm very happy to see you once again because it's been how many months? It's been so long. Glad to see you once again. How are you
Yes.
coping with the situation?
I think I'm kind of taking a step back. I think it's a good time to reflect on a lot of things, on what's really important for me, and also spending time to do what I'm really passionate about. How about yourself?
I'm still in school. I'm just reading. I go out a little bit, sit outside, sit by the pool, enjoy some scenery, come home inside, read again. I'm taking it slow. I think that is
Nice.
the most important thing to do at the moment. Take it
Mhm.
easy, once
Mhm.
time. Don't, stress yourself. So that's what I'm doing.
And Cynthia, would you just like to share a little bit about yourself to the viewers?
Well, so I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa, born and bred. But currently, like you said, I'm in Canada pursuing my studies in anthropology. I did most of my schooling in Ghana, where I attained my BA in administration and MA in development management. I am the president and founder of an NGO, CITRUS Foundation, which facilitates advocacy and human rights, and our main aim is to empower women and girls.
What is your vision for this NGO?
So basically, you know how women are poverty driven,
Mm-hmm.
so especially women who are not educated. So what CTRA seeks to do is to help them at least to acquire vocational training, because as they are already aged, they can't go back to school. It's very tough. You can't ask them to go and start all over again. So what can you do? Help them with vocational, teach them how to um, use beads for necklaces, teach them how to sew, teach them how to, there are a lot of things they can do with their hands. So that is my passion, to see women who have not had all these opportunities go out there, learn the skills, and improve themselves economically.
That's great because you're teaching them life skills. I think one of the things Ghana has is also artisanal mining. And a
Yeah.
lot of people are also doing that, which might not be that hazardous to it could
Yeah.
be hazardous to their health, right? And I think coming from a culture like West Africa, so how do you feel like the woman, what kind of boundaries do they have?
Siobhan, the boundaries, I would say, it's not the women who put it on themselves. It's a cultural thing. It's a traditional thing. It's something we came to meet, especially coming from a developing country. The woman grows up, and it's more like defined to be a homemaker. So when a woman is birthed, she grows up, all she thinks of is being married, all she thinks of is her wedding, all she thinks of is how many kids can I have, how to cook good food for my husband, how to keep a man, and that alone limits the woman on achieving her own potential. Especially when you're coming from an Orthodox home, a woman grows up and does nothing to improve herself, to improve her career path. She would rather want to be a teacher, because the teaching job gives her limited hours. She goes to work, works few hours, comes home, rather than going out there to be a doctor, because with a doctor you have to go out there, put everything in that career. But the woman does not want to do that because she's focused on her children, on her marriage, and that limits us. Another thing that also limits the woman is the patriarchy system that we have. It affects the religion, it affects our political how do I even say, political system. It affects everyone, because right from the moment that a woman is born, there's the primary power is sort of given to the male. It's given to her elder brothers. Her father has it, so she doesn't really have some sort of power over herself to come out and be bold and take charge of her life, because she depends on the males. She depends on her father, her elderly brothers, on her uncles, on even her husband. So that alone limits the woman to come forward. It puts the woman at the back seat. Instead of going out there to be the driver, she wants to be driven. So that alone limits a woman, I would say, in so many dimensions.
The things I saw when I was there is, I think it's a country that's very rich in culture. I mean, it was my first trip to Ghana, and I've never really understood the culture and what went on. But I think I was very affected when I even came back, seeing the history, seeing what the people there were subjugated to. And sometimes I feel like that mentality has not changed. And like what you mentioned, right? It's the boundaries are put on the male, being a male dominated country. Not really. It's the culture. It's really the culture itself. Like when
Yeah.
when we look at a Asian country, right? It's really the culture where the man has the control. I've heard of stories where the daughters are not allowed to go to school. It's only the sons who go to school.
Yeah, it's so true. But I would say that we are stepping in the right direction. Now things are changing, Siobhan. Every woman see her child go out there, especially her female child, go out there, take charge of her life. So I would say that, well, before, so many years ago, those were the things that were happening, but currently it's changing. I think it has to do with the constant education that is happening, the sensitization. People are telling women to, even, it doesn't matter if you do not have education, but you have to make sure you educate your girl child, because when a woman is educated, so many things happen. Everything changes around her. Her children, her life, the society, everything changes. So why not empower the girl? Why not send her to school? Why not teach her to do something with her life? So I think cultural dynamics is changing, and I'm happy, but we can do better.
How has your journey been like? I mean, this kind of passion, right? It just doesn't come like suddenly. It's something that you would have experienced, that would have pushed you to that limit of saying, no, I want to I want to be different. I want to make a change in that area. So what drove you there?
So Siobhan, I completed school. I completed my secondary school somewhere around 2007. And the thing is, immediately you complete school, you have to go to the university. But I didn't have the opportunity to go immediately to further my education. I had to stay home because some of my grades were not that good. I was so scared of mathematics. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maths was so difficult. I couldn't conquer maths. So my dad was like, okay, why don't you go and rewrite your maths? I'm like, Dad, no, I can't do it because I can't face maths. And I stayed home for so long. I stayed home for about 8 years, and I was content with my life. I was just home doing nothing. I had a job. It wasn't paying so much, but I was okay until I came across somebody, and he was a man, and he was a lecturer. He said to me, you have so much potential. I mean, I talked to you. You don't have to waste your life. I'm like, no, I'm okay. I just want to be a boutique owner. I just want to live my life. I just want to, I'm okay where I am. So he kept pushing me, and then he brought me on board. He brought me on board to his team. I started interviewing women in artisanal small scale mining, and I got interested. Then he asked me to go back to school. So I went back. I wrote my in Ghana we have something. There's a remedial school. I wrote the exam, and I can you imagine? I passed the maths that I
Wow.
was afraid of. I
Mhm.
passed, and then I went back. I started afresh. I went to uni. Immediately, I went to uni. I completed. When I completed, he said, you have to go get a master's. I'm like, no, I just wanted a first degree. I'm okay. Then he said, no, you have to keep going. And I was like, really? Okay, so I went, I applied, then I got in. I did my master's, and now I'm here. I'm furthering my education. I'm doing my PhD. So
Wow.
when I look at my life and I look at where I came from, before then I had so much low self-esteem. I didn't believe in myself. I too confident. I was always afraid. But now I'm not even afraid. I mean, if I fall, I'm going to rise up. Mistakes are bound to happen. If it happens, I correct it. I get up, I get going. So because of that, I look at around me. I'm like, who can I empower? Who can I touch? Because if my life was not touched, I mean, I wouldn't be this person. I wouldn't be this lady you're talking to right now. So what can I do differently? Who knows? The little gestures that I send towards somebody can impact them greatly and change their lives. So yeah. So this is me now, and this is my journey. So
So amazing. That's so amazing, Cynthia. Like, that's just that one push that took you so far. I mean, imagine if that never had happened, right? You would, of course, you would still be doing well, but you would not be content. Like, your full potential wouldn't be there. And I think there's going to be great things that you'll be probably doing after you've completed your education. And I'm so, like, even encouraged to hear that, because I think what the three things that you stated, right, is so real in a woman's life. Is always self-esteem, is confidence, and fears. So these are the three things that always keeps a woman, um, you know not daring to step out, not trying to, like, even further themselves or try to improve themselves, not only from different cultures, or not only from a culture where maybe, or a place where maybe there's not much opportunities. There are many women out there, like, for example, who have gone through maybe a divorce, who's gone through depression, or they've come from a very, very bad background, maybe abusive background. And then when they come out of it, right, that fears, that all that fears that they have inside, that they are not good enough, that they are not worthy, I think that just holds them back.
yeah, it really holds them back. So I mean, I look at my life, and I mean, Siobhan, I'm not married, but I'm not even worried. You know, back then, all I was thinking about was being married. I was in a haste to get married. So, I mean, recently, last week, I was praying and I thank God. I'm like, God, I'm thankful that I'm not married yet. Because if I had married, I wouldn't have been here. If I had married, I would have just had kids. How many kids? Maybe 3, maybe 4, even more, 6, or maybe who knows. And I would have been just there, depending on my husband, obeying, not submissing. Because I mean, if he's taking care of me, I have to abide by everything he says because I'm not financially stable. But now I want to be married, of course, but it gives me the liberty. It opens more room for me to choose who I really want to be with, not because of the financial gains I'm going to get from the man. That's why I'm going to settle down with him, right? So I think that is something that we have to talk to women about. It's about changing people's personality, changing people's mentality, changing their, making them believe in themselves. It's a tough thing to do, especially when the woman believes that she deserves everything she's going through. Because some people think, okay, they were born this way. I was born to go through all that. It's okay. It's God made me this way. But no, you were not born this way. There's room. You can be someone else. You just have to believe in yourself and get out of your comfort zone. Get out there, grab opportunities, change your life, change your destiny, and change your story.
I think it's so true because it's really about changing your narrative, right? You want to, before you can even try to do something, you have to change that perception internally that, if you need to say it to yourself like 1,000 times, you wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I deserve good things. Keep on affirming your own self, like I'm valuable. I am supposed to have good things come my
Yeah.
way, and I think that changes the perception because I really identify with what you say because sometimes even in a very modern society like ours, right, the identity is being tagged to a woman having a partner, a husband. So
Yeah.
that's where your security comes in, and they feel like,
Yeah.
even if you don't achieve much, as long as you have a husband, your security is there. But they never think far, like what if he has an affair, or what if he
Yeah.
leaves you halfway, what if he
Absolutely.
passes on?
You see that happening. When you depend on a man financially, he does no respect. He treats you anyhow he wants. He beats
Mm,
you. He speaks to you anyhow. Then you feel less of yourself. There are a lot of women who are married, but they are not happy because all they ever think they have achieved anything good is the fact that they are married. That's all there is. But what if they were doing something better? What if they had a career? What if they were, they took charge of their lives? Your husband comes, he cheats, he beats you and all that. I mean, you can just pick up your bag and just leave. You are not
mm,
tied to him. You're not dependent on him because you also have your life. You have your job. You are financially stable, so you can get out of the house and take care of yourself. So you don't need him, you know. But I don't know. It's unfortunate that most girls grow up thinking that, okay, all I need is to be married. So I asked my friends, okay, fine, you are married. So then what? What next? What are you going to do? Okay, let's wait. Let's see. After a child, I'm going to do something. And then you are there. One baby, the next baby comes, and then it keeps going. Before you realize you are old, you have nothing. There's nothing on your name to show for. So that's
mm.
something that, it's very, I think I get very passionate when this issue comes up because I don't want anyone to be limited. Not at all. Not at all.
It's so true. And I so agree with you on that because I think that for women, right, it's not about really being a career woman or being like earning big money. Or, it's basically about your own self-worth. You feel good if you know that you have achieved something, even though maybe you might not be working in a very big organization, but at least you are doing something, you're contributing to something, and that adds to your self-worth, that adds to your confidence as you go on in life, and that helps you to even feel like there is something that you can do, something you can change. Do you think that that would be one of the ways that you feel like you want to do some change, right? So what would be the best practices that you think will be good to empower women?
First of all, I think we women must desire to empower other women because there's always this thing about, okay, women being in competition with ourselves. That narrative that is all over the place, but I don't agree to that. I'm not in competition with anybody. I just want to see my fellow lady shine. I want her to get out of her comfort zone. I want her to get out there. So the first thing we have to do is to change that narrative, to change that perception that is all over everywhere, that women are in competition with each other. And a second thing I think we can do is, the little in your own small way. What can you change in someone's life? Whose child can you buy clothes for? Whose child can you buy shoes for? Which lady can you invite to your home to have that dinner with? There are little things you can do because I mean you can't change everything, but you can start somewhere. The little thing, words of encouragement. I do that a lot. I mean, no matter who you are, you come close to me. I don't mind sharing my story. I tell people, come on, it doesn't matter. Some people are going to be embarrassed about where they are coming from, but I'm
Yeah.
not because I even feel privileged not everybody has stories to share, right? Some people grow up and life is so easy for them. No, so I'm happy. So many times I'm happy. I'm like, okay, if I had not gone through this, I wouldn't be here talking to anybody at all I meet about how good they are, or encourage them to get out of their comfort zone. So I think the little thing we can do is to start in your circle, your friends, the stranger on the bus. Tell them you are beautiful. I say that to my friends a lot. Oh yeah, I like your hair. Oh, I like your purse. I like your bag. You can do this. I see posts on job. I think it can help. I send it to them. Do you think you want to do this? Okay. Do you think you want to further your education? There's a course here. Do you think you want to apply for it? I do that all the time. So that is where we should start from. No one is in competition with each other. I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm going to urge you on. I'm going to share your YouTube channels. I'm going to do everything I can to support you, because that is the beginning point. That is where we have to start and get going. So yeah.
Wow. Thanks so much, Cynthia. I think I really love what you shared. I think one of the things I took away, right, from your sharing, right, it's really about authenticity and sincerity. And you were really spot on about that, because I was also sharing this with my two closest friends. We started as colleagues, and we are like 10 or 20 years apart. So we started as colleagues and we've been friends ever since we left the job, and it's over 10 years now. I think 10 or 15 years right now. We've still been friends. We've seen each other through different seasons. And I told them, we need to talk about it, because a lot of times women feel like we are in competition with each other. We feel like we cannot outshine this person. We are always thinking of, what if she's better? Or, if the person is better, you should be encouraging that person. You should be probably thinking like, what can I do to be like that? Instead of thinking that I don't want to have this friendship anymore, because I'm just insecure. And I think it's the insecurities.
It's the insecurities. It is. But for me, even if you're around me and I have a sense that, okay, you feel insecure, I try to make you feel you don't have to be. It's a process, it's a journey, and we are with this together. I'm going to help you. So never mind. I think that is something, it depends also, Siobhan, the individual. Some people, no matter what you do, they are not going to change. That is there. But there are some people too, the little thing you tell them, the little words of encouragement, they want to be like you, so you just encourage them in your own small way. It's going to change it. It's going to change it. Those people are the ones I'm interested in, not the one who doesn't want to change her attitude, who doesn't want to change her mentality, who is just fixated on, talking ill about you. Okay, you think you are going out there and all that. So it's all about the person's willingness to change their attitude and how they behave. So yeah. But
I think
there's
we
room.
got here. We really got here is because of what we've gone through. Like, I think even for me, I wasn't that this kind of like open. Actually an introvert by nature. So for me, even to do this is not very easy. But I think the heart is really to help women out there, because for me, I can still go out and mingle. I can still have the confidence to talk. But there are women like me, who are unlike me, right? They are so afraid. They have fears. They are not able to hold a proper job. And I think that, people like us, the women like us, need to come up and say, what, we've gone through a journey, we've come out strong. And
Yeah.
And we are here just to support, as a moral support. And and I'm also like you, Cynthia. I'm happy to walk the journey with people. If like someone comes up to me and says, what, can I share with you, or can you walk this journey with me, I'm more than happy to do that, because these are the small things that we can do, because people have done that in our lives.
Absolutely. And I'm speaking to when it comes to people who are not too confident to even speak in public. Even I wasn't that confident to speak in public. I was always shy. You know, I told you I sing at church. Sometimes to hold a microphone was so difficult. But that moment, I got in myself, thought about who I am and who I want to be. Everything changed. I go out there, I speak free, I don't care. I mean, I'm just myself. And you know, mistakes, like I said, mistakes are bound to happen. Sometimes you can be on the stage, make a mistake. Who cares? Next time you're going to change it. Next time you're going to rectify it. You know, people are going to laugh at you, probably because of how you speak, probably because of what you're even wearing. So that shouldn't limit you. You have to be bold. You have to be bold. So I think that is what I did. I started doing. I picked up my life. I just decided to go, and I'm going, and I'm still going. I'm not stopping. I'm going. And it's helped me. It's really, really helped me a lot. I mean, sometimes people come to me, oh, yeah, you encourage me, you motivate me. I'm like, really? And I feel good. I'm like, I feel so good about myself. I'm like, okay, that's great. And with that, uh, it gives me some sort of motivation to keep going. And that's where I am now. You know, I'm not saying there are not bad days. There are bad days. But what happens when you have a bad day? You know, you just pick yourself up and keep going. It's beautiful when you pick yourself up and you keep going. And you put on a smile, right? You put on a smile all the time. That's what I've been doing, and I think it's been helping me a lot.
And that's true. And do you have like a community that you work with, or that you have a strong bonding with?
Yes, first of all, I have a community where, you know, when I started my journey in mining, I was introduced to Georgette Barnes. And
Yes, Georgette
lady,
Benz.
my Lord, that lady is one one powerful lady. I just admired her. I told her, Lady Georgette, I admire you so much. And, you know, she has really shaped me. She mentored me. And, you know, she always sends me these posts, these videos. Cynthia, you can do it no matter where you find yourself. I mean, when I came here in my class, I was the only black girl. Imagine how that feels, straight from
Wow.
Africa. Lord have mercy. Everything was so different. There were times that I felt so lonely, felt so, you know, less of myself. I call her and I tell her, oh, Lady Georgia. She goes like, you know, you are there because you deserve that. You deserve that same opportunity everyone has. So, you know, don't worry. Bad days are bound to happen. You know, so people like that urges me on. And I have my circle of female friends. Oh, they are so amazing. They are so amazing. They just cheer you on. They just, no matter what, they tell you, oh, I'm so proud of you. You're going to do it. You know, so when I have a bad day, I pick up a phone. I call them. You know, time difference, but it doesn't matter. They still pick up my call. They're already there listening to me all the time. So last week, I said, okay, why not also stretch that arm? What can I do on social media? I opened up a page. I name it the Evolution Room. So Evolution Room gathers every woman I know. What can we do to motivate ourselves? What can we do to change the narratives that have been said about us? What can we do to change the gender stereotypes? You know, so I think it's a slow process, but it really helps, and I'm getting positive feedback. So it means I'm positive that it's going to work.
I'm gonna check it out as well. And I think it's great because we are no longer being limited by just geographical region. Like, you know, I'm in Singapore and now you're in Canada, but it's just like we are pulling women together from everywhere, you know. Um, and they have this, and it's going to be a community of like women with diverse cultures, coming from different nationalities and all that, and we can all tap into one another because our strengths are so different. Like my strength is different from yours, and and we can always not only empower them, but we do it in our own way, maybe, and if there's something that I'm better at that I can help, or someone else is better at something that I can learn from. I think that's really what the community should be about.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's no end to learning. You can learn as much as you can because our minds are so huge, our IQs are huge. You should not be limited. There are a lot of things you can pick up from different people, different circles. There's, a couple of virtues that you can pick up on. There's patience, how to be calm, how to, behave like a proper lady, how to, even talk like a lady, how to dress up like a lady. All of these things are, I think, virtues that we can pick up from ourselves. Being women, I think we understand ourselves better because we go through the changing scenes of life together. Even if it's different, it's still the same. There are some sort of similarities when it comes to what women go through, and so I think it's a good thing that we are all together trying to help each other, trying to do the work with ourselves, motivate ourselves, encourage ourselves, pick ourselves up, and keep marching forward. Yeah.
And that's so good. And even like some of the things that even I've addressed in my episodes and while talking to people is also about looks as well. I think one of the things is like women of color like us, right? We will never be petite. We are just curvy. And I think sometimes it's just us. We have that.
Mhm.
And sometimes I think for young girls, right, they kind of feel like sometimes out of place because the world talks about you need to have a certain frame, you need to be very petite, or you need to really look have nice complexion, and that's how you define beauty. But we have a different bone structure, so sometimes we might not be like really that petite, but that doesn't mean we are not beautiful. I think that's also a very good message to share to young girls, especially girls who are in school, that you don't
Yeah.
need to like starve yourself. You don't have to have an eating disorder, to force yourself to look like someone else, because you have already been created as beautiful.
Yeah. And one thing I say to myself almost every day, I put on my dress, I put on my little makeup, I go like, oh, I'm so beautiful. I
So
don't
true.
need to tell me I'm beautiful. I tell myself I'm beautiful all the time. On my WhatsApp status, I caption it, oh, I'm so beautiful. I can have, my tummy can be bulgy. Well, I have to work on that. Exercise can work it. If I have acne, something can take care of it. There's a cream, that can rectify it. But when it comes to my body size, I mean, if I'm working on it and I'm not achieving any results, what can I do? Nothing.
Yeah.
You have to own your body. If you're a plus size, own your body. If you're a skinny lady, own your body. Because I mean, I realize that some girls would want to change the way they look to please their men. And then you change. If you're skinny, he says, I want a curvy girl. Go out there, you get all the creams that makes your butt big. And then he comes back to say, okay, I now want a skinny girl. And then what do you want as a lady? Like, what do you want? So define what you want and go get it. A man is supposed to like you for who you are. For who you are. If you're applying for a job and the job says because you're too skinny, I can't employ you, then that job is not for you. Go somewhere else. Sometimes, I mean, the wait is difficult, having to go around looking for a job, it's so tough. But definitely, I mean, there's something beautiful that God does no matter what. There's a piece of the cake that belongs to you. You just have to, be patient enough, wait for it. At the right time, you're going to get it. It also boils down to the kind of man, the men that we also marry. If he wants you skinny when you are plus size, he's not yours. The one who is yours is going to like you however you come. If you are short, he doesn't mind. If you are skinny, if you are big, he doesn't mind. Because Siobhan, assuming you are all that, you are beautiful, you are curvy, you have the nice leg, And then the next minute you are involved in an accident. What happens? Is he going to leave you or he's going to stay? So, I mean, if he likes you for who you are, no matter how you come, if you are bent, he's still going to stay because he married you or he likes you, he's with you because of who you are. So for me, I'm not fixated on what someone tells me. It's what I and what God says I am. That's what carries me everywhere in this journey.
So love it, man. And Cynthia, that's because your security is like so strong because you know your worth. That's how I'll put it. Like, you know your worth, you know your identity, you know what you stand for. And, whatever people said to you, that's not going to change. Like, I do agree with you because some people will look at you and say, that clothes doesn't match you. I've had that comments myself. Like, someone would tell me, that dress just doesn't look good on you, but I like it. It doesn't
So
matter.
yeah, it
You know,
doesn't matter. I know it
it,
doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
It's like, so it doesn't match to my skin color or maybe my body size. So I like it. I'm wearing it. And it's not like you're going to wear the clothes like for the rest of your life. It's just a day, sometimes just few hours. So, just accept it. Get used to it. Right? That is what I'm going to wear. So that's it. So as long as it's not, exposing, certain parts of your body, especially when you go to church, in our churches, you know how our churches work. You are not supposed to wear
Yeah.
certain clothes to our churches. But aside that, it's what you want to wear, right? It's what you want to wear. I remember, so I went on a trip in Barbados and I wore my swimming suit. So I put a picture on my Facebook page and then someone came, oh, what are you wearing? You are exposing your body. I'm like, do you want me to wear a suit to swim? I can wear a suit to swim. I can wear a suit to swim. It's like I can only wear swimwear and that's what I'm going to wear. Because people have their own way of making you feel bad. Imagine she told me that and then I feel bad about myself. I'm going to question what I do. I'm going to question myself. So I mean, it doesn't matter because no matter what you do, people are going to talk anyway. People are
Yeah.
going to talk about what you wear, even your skin tone. They are going to talk anyway. So like I said, it's about me and what God says I am. That's all that matters.
And it's so true. And people need to really hear these things because one of the things is, right, I just sometimes feel that when people say comments like that, they don't say it because they're just upset or saying it out of truth. Sometimes they just have that in themselves, that insecurity that why am I not daring enough to do this? Why can't I be bold enough to wear this? Or,
Yeah.
and because they are striving so hard to, to maintain that kind of image that they have in their mind,
Oh,
they project
yeah.
it on someone else because they want that person they either want to bring them down if they feel like they are doing better than them, or they
Mm,
just want to make sure that, if I'm not happy, you don't be happy.
that's it. I think you've said it all. That is it. That you hit the nail right on the head. That's it. If they can't be happy, you can't be happy. But it's not fair. You have
Yeah.
to teach to be happy. I always say that if someone attacks me, I tell them, you don't know what my life was so many years ago. You don't know how unhappy I was so many years ago. How I wasn't confident in myself. So the moment I got out of that place, I won't allow you to take me back
Wow.
because it was a long walk. I'm not allowing you to take me back. Once I'm out, I'm out. Once I'm out, I'm out. That's it. So I don't allow people's comments to get to me. If you have low self-esteem, fix it. Don't come and attack mine because mine is okay. It was
Mm.
broken, but now it has been fixed. So go fix yours.
And that's so encouraging. And for yourself, right? Sometimes even we have bad days. I mean, we are always on a high. Sometimes, we are all powered up. But there are days when maybe you wake up, you feel discouraged. Someone just strikes you, and that just brings you down. So when that happens, right, what do you do?
When I have bad day, I wake up in the morning. First thing I pray. I pray. You know, there's this song that says, "What a privilege it is to carry everything to God in prayer."
Mm.
I sing the song. I pray. I talk to God. You know, I feel like everybody should have that relationship with God. You know, inside everything, He's your friend. He listens to everything. You can talk to Him, tell Him everything. I tell Him everything. I think of my very, very good days. Okay, this is how my day was. Okay, and then I think of my bad days. When I had a bad day, how did I get out of the bad day? What did I do? Did I talk to my friends? Did I write? What did I do? I think of that. And I mean, what more can happen? You know, people have bad days even more than you. People go through so much difficult challenges even more than what you are going through. So that is how I used to encourage myself. So I just pick myself up. I allow myself to be comforted, because of course you need one or two positive people in your life, right? If I have to call someone, I call the person. I tell the person, okay, this is what is happening. He or she encourages me. I allow myself to be comforted, because you know, people are around, they cannot allow themselves to be comforted. You know, they can't bring themselves to the point where they can let themselves go. I allow myself to be comforted. I pick myself up and I keep going. I mean, what more can happen? In the end, I thank God for life. If I have life, I have everything. So if there's life, whatever it is can be rectified. If there's life, my story can be changed. If there's life, I can have another good day. So regardless of what happens, I encourage myself. I listen to podcasts, people who encourage me, sermons. I do that a lot. I listen to music. If I can dance, I'm a very bad dancer, but I try to shake my body. I eat. I take it easy on myself and I keep going. I keep going.
And that's so true that you say that you call like one or two of your friends. Like even for me, I believe in like having three different kind of groups. Like I have acquaintance, I have friends, and I also have a very tight inner circle. And because I believe that, you know, I don't want and anybody and everybody to speak into my life, because sometimes we just trust them, and then, you know, we make the wrong decisions because we allow the wrong people to speak into our life. So I think I'm very careful who are my good
Oh
friends,
yeah,
who are the people that I can trust to make a decision, and then I allow them to speak
yeah,
into my life, and I affirm my decisions with them. I think
mm.
that's so important, to choose the right group of people around you, and you know
Yeah.
that they are for you.
Yeah, yeah. And one thing that we barely do is to pray about our friends. You know, that is one thing that I think we ignore, but it's so important. People pray about life partners, people pray about jobs, people pray about so many things, but they forget to pray about their friends. You know, I pray on my friends all the time. I tell God, if there's someone in my circle of friends who does not deserve to be there, Jesus, take them away. Because
Mm,
at this point of my life, Siobhan, I don't need a naysayer. I don't need someone who tries to bring me down. I don't need
yeah,
someone who tries to dim my light. And you know, the funny thing is, you can't see them. They are so close. Everyone laughs with you. You know, you can have good times with everybody. But who are you supposed to avoid? You can't know.
you
So
won't
it's
know.
only
That's true.
who can do it. So you tell them. I tell him all the time, if there's anybody in my life who deserves to get out of my life, please remove them, take them away. I don't need them, because I don't know what they plan, you know, in their rooms, in their, you know, various homes and all that. I don't know that. So it's only Jesus who can do that. So I do that all the time. Take them away. I pray every morning, take them away.
And I so agree with you on that, Cynthia, because sometimes it's true. We pray for so many things. We pray for a job interview, We pray for favor with our colleagues, but we never pray for our friends. And these are the people that we allow access into our lives. We allow access into our dreams and what we want to do. And we do not know what is the true motives of their heart. And sometimes these people carry their own baggage, their insecurities, and they are toxic, but you can't really tell. And
Yeah.
when the damage is done, it affects you a lot more because you always thought that this person is supposed to be a friend.
It's so true. It's so true. I mean, over the time, we had friends, different female friends. We allowed everybody and anybody to, I mean, in our inner circle. But I mean, you hear stories about someone who was supposed to be a friend, talk ill, say things about you, and then you question that. Were you not supposed to be my friend? So, I mean, if you are supposed to be my friend, then what did I do? I mean, it's okay if your friend hurts you, right? But the best thing a friend who is being hurt has to do is you come to your friend, you speak with your friend. Okay, you did this to me, I did not like it. Can you not treat me this way? And that's okay. That's what friends are for. But to go to someone else trying to paint your friend black, I mean, no, it's not allowed in the inner circle. It's not
Yeah.
allowed at all.
So it's also good to be very careful, like mindful of who you allow into your life, because sometimes the more I think the more success that you have, the more that the things that you are doing, some people there will always be distraction. There will always be people who come in to challenge you, to come in to try to put a stop to you because you are doing a good thing. We are actually trying to, like really go out there and to make a difference, and it's not an easy job.
Yeah. And I always say that, some people, especially those who, try to challenge you, speak ill about you, if God was supposed to change their hands and give them how do I even say, give them the opportunity to step in your shoes, there's no way they can even, be able to do half of the things you're doing because they were not wired to stand in the position that you are standing. But this person would rather speak ill instead of encouraging you, would rather speak ill about you. So that's why I say this. You cannot see them because, you share your dreams, your aspirations, everything with them. So it's only God who can, sort of take them out of your life for good, for good.
So wise words indeed. And just on that note, right? So Cynthia, what is your favorite quote, or if there's a Bible verse that you actually stand by?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a quote. I would say it's more like a philosophy that is empower women to
Mm-hmm.
empower others. So inspire empowered women to empower others. Why that philosophy? First of all, I think that women should have the desire to empower others. And you and I would say that we are empowered. So we have to
Yes.
inspire others,
Mm-hmm.
others like us. We have to inspire them to, get out there, to grab their bags, to do more, to open their arms more, to receive everybody and anybody, regardless of who they are, rich, poor, black, white, no matter what the race, I mean, no matter what, we have to go out there. So I always live by it. I tell my friends, I mean, in your little small way, what can you do to change your circle? She also tells another friend, what can you do? So little by little, everything changes. Little by little, we see changes in the society, in our community, everywhere. So that is what I live by. And it has really helped me because no matter where I find myself, I speak to women. I see my friends also picking their bags, going out there in their own small ways, challenging themselves, changing narratives of people, and I think it's really helping. So that's all I live by all the time, every day, any day.
Wow, that's so good. I think that's really good, and I think it's become that philosophy is something that you live by. That it's it becomes so you. It's just something in you, and I relate to that, because when you are passionate about something, it's just what you think about, it's just what you want to do, and you continue to just pour it out into the people around you, and it's like really like a kind of an effect which just goes on, because whatever, you're a recipient and you're paying it forward, and I was a recipient, so I'm also paying it forward. So there'll be people who watch this, get inspired, and they will want to do something different in their own circle. That's all it takes to start
That's all.
impacting your own small group of friends.
That's all it takes. And I always say baby steps. You don't have to go out there, do the very major big things, the major changes, going on stages to change the world. You have to take baby steps, slow steps, the little things you can do. Like the little, I believe in small steps than big steps, because big steps, it requires so much effort, so much energy, but the little steps, it requires confidence, being confident enough and bold to get up, to even start. So I believe in the little and baby steps. So I always tell my friends, don't worry, just take baby steps, one step at a time, and surely you are going to get there.
I'm really happy that we had this conversation, because I think there's so many things, so many truths that we've uncovered in this section alone, and it's been so inspiring, because this kind of topics that you're speaking, it applies to women of all ages, women, whether they're professional or moms, even teenagers. It's just things that are very real to us. And when we change that among ourselves and we start changing the people around us, then we will be able to do greater things, do more things, to impact others. And that's so great. And I'm so thankful for all those things that you've been sharing with us. So as we're coming to the end of the show, right, do you have any takeaways that you want to leave with viewers?
Allow yourself to be comforted. There is hope. Pick up yourself, pick up your bag, and get walking. That's all. Allow yourself to be comforted. There's going to be bad days. Don't just stay there. It's going to end no matter what. Allow yourself to be comforted. Have hope. There's hope for the future. Just believe in yourself. Positive mind. Speak good things about yourself. Good affirmation. Positive thinking. Change your own world. Proclaim every good thing that you think of. Pick up yourself up and just walk. Just walk. And one thing I also want to add is, being young ladies, there are a lot of opportunities out there. Sometimes people are waiting for opportunities to come, knocking. That's the saying. But sometimes you have to push the door to find opportunity. You don't always have to relax, wait, and hope that something, opportunity it's gonna come your way. Sometimes I remember when I was, coming up, I go around volunteering for people, do things for people. I don't even want to be paid. And I would say, Siobhan, that is the reason why I'm here. Because I kept pushing. I wasn't limited. No one asked me to do anything. I go out there, okay, what can I do to help you? I do all that. And I'm happy that I'm here now. So sometimes you don't have to wait for opportunity. You just have to push the door and it's right there. You go pick it up and get going.
And it's so true that you even you said that, because sometimes we are waiting for opportunities, but opportunities are all there. It's about whether you are able to catch that. What, I don't think that anyone would shut a door, but if you actively go and look for it, and put yourself out there, and have a heart that is a teachable heart. You're open
Yeah,
to learning new things, you're open to trying out something new, and you will see opportunities coming your way. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So that is something too I think we have to, think about and push people and bring people to help them to challenge themselves and not just be there waiting. Because sometimes you're going to wait and then nothing. You're just going to be there. Nothing happens. But you have to get up, pick up yourself, get up, get out there and start walking.
Thanks so much for sharing this, Cynthia, and thanks so much for taking time in this morning. You know, that's morning for you, it's night for me, to even come on this show, because I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I must say, you are doing wonderful things. Keep going. You don't have to be discouraged at all. Just know, if nobody's going to support you, I'm here. I'm going to support you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
I'm going to support you, hands down.